All right, welcome back to my paper time machine. It's been a long time, but I'm happy to be here with you. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We're looking today at, I just found this. This is a gem from the 90s. This is a March 1995 Guitar World magazine featuring Nirvana Unplugged. Of course, it's Kurt Cobain on the cover. I just found this today at a thrift store for $1.49. You can see right there. I was 15, so that's right. This is right in my wheelhouse. I was in a garage band. Nirvana caught my ear when I was in middle school, and I could relate to Nirvana more so than Whitesnake or bands like Cinderella. You know, when you're 13, 14, 15. So this is it. Let's look. This is awesome. All right, so here we go. Make sure you can see everything. All right, cool. Right off the bat, boom. I used to use these. I'm a bass player, if you don't know. Ernie Ball Slinkies, the guitar and bass strings. They broke a lot, and then I got sponsored by D'Addario in the around 2013-ish, and those strings are great. I still use them. I still have boxes full of them, and those strings don't break. All right, there's Kurt Cobain, Ibanez. Oh man, look at these. These are like the retro Ibanez guitars of the mid '90s. Ibanez, they were pretty omnipresent throughout the '90s. What we got here? I never had one of these. These tuners, the AX80 or AX800, the world's first guitar mount auto tuner. I've seen these before, but I never had one. And then, of course, Eddie Van Halen, guitar legend, who passed away, I think, in 2020. Peavey, that brand, you don't see them as much as you did in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But Eddie Van Halen, I can remember when I was one years old when MTV started. My older sister had a crush on Eddie Van Halen, so she sat me in front of the TV, in front of MTV, and said, "All right, come get me when Van Halen comes on." So I'd watch MTV as like a 1.5 year old kid. I can recall that. And then I'd go get her when like Panama came on or Jump. All right, Gibson. Here we go. Never had a Gibson bass. Guitar players love the guitars, and they're freaking legendary. And they can be expensive and all that. But the basses, I've played copies of Gibsons, but I don't know, it's like a classic rock kind of vibe. Zappa, he's a wizard. I was in a band in college. We covered one of his songs, Catholic Girls. Wow, that was fun. Super challenging, super fun. All right, let's see what else we can find here. Yeah, I love the colors, right? This is 1995. So Kurt Cobain died April of 1994. So this is roughly a year later. The music world's, still recovering from that loss. I was talking to a good buddy of mine, and we were talking about, Kurt Cobain, what if, he was still around. And I was thinking, what if, maybe he'd be doing just instrumental music of some sort, you know what I mean? Who knows? Oh, we got Wayne Kramer, Horse's Axe. What is this? A band's called Ass Ponies. Ass Ponies guitarist Chuck Cleaver. Huh. CDs. Oh, here we go. 10 CDs for the price of one. BMG. Comics. Eric Clapton. My favorite Martin. Wow. I have all kinds of sounds going on in the background. We're in the basement of the Alamo tonight, furnace is going, snowing out, hooray. And there's footsteps above. So, alright, let's see. Man, look at these CDs. That brings back memories. Jeez. Who's this? Compulsion? I don't remember that. Some of these names are like locked in my memory in some small room, waiting to be unlocked, and that's not one of them. Let's see. Ovations. These guitars have like a sculpted, molded black back of basically, I think it's like a plastic. I guess it was some kind of like innovative design. Reader's Pull. Wow. Man, all these guys are still that Dimebag Darrell. Gone. Who's this guy? Eric Clapton. What is it? Oh, cool. Reader's Pull. Oh, here we go. Bam. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go. This is perfect. 1995. Most Valuable Player, Eric Clapton. Second place, Dimebag Darrell. Well, Kurt Cobain is number 4. Best New Talent, 1995. Peter Collette, Candlebox. That's the name that's locked in my memory. Wow, Candlebox. Number 2, second place, Billy Joe Armstrong. Best Rock Guitarist, number 1, Eddie Van Halen. Number 2, Joe Perry. Best Heavy Metal Guitarist, Dimebag Darrell. That guy was amazing. I remember the day he died, I was in China. Man, that guy was so talented. Second place, Kurt Hammett. Best Blues Guitarist, number 1, Eric Clapton. Number 2, Buddy Guy. Let's see here, what else? Best Alternative Guitarist, number 1, Kim Thayil. Number 2, Kurt Cobain. Best Live Band, Metallica. Number 2, Pink Floyd, Pearl Jam. Best Solo, Dimebag Darrell, Planet Caravan. Number 2, oh, Black Hole Sun. Oh yeah, well there you go. Soundgarden. I love Soundgarden. I love Pantera. All these bands. Come on. What else we got? This is great. Best Rock Album, Purple, Stone Temple Pilots, STP. Second place, The Bell Division, Pink Floyd. Best Heavy Metal Album, Far Beyond Driven, Pantera. Hell yeah. Second place, Euthanasia, Megadeth. Man, this brings back memories. 1995, folks. Best Alternative Album, MTV Unplugged, New York, Nirvana. Yeah, that's for sure. Number 2, Super Unknown, Soundgarden. Yep. Best Blues Album, From the Cradle, Eric Clapton. Number 2, Blues, Jimi Hendrix. Biggest Disappointment, number 1. Look at that, The Death of Kurt Cobain. Man, I told you, man. We're not recovering. It's just biggest disappointment. Bam, for sure. Number 2, The Promised Land, Queensryche. Number 3, No Quarter, Jimmy Page, Remember Plant. Number 4, Simply, Yngwie Malmsteen. Number 5, The Spaghetti Incident, Guns N' Roses. That's a good list. That's hilarious. Not to mention, Daisy Fuentes won't return my phone calls. Jimi Hendrix is still dead. My kitty never came home. My girlfriend got knocked up. Ouch. And Nicole Smith marrying a 90-year-old guy. I can recall that. I haven't got laid in 5 years. I'm on my way. Jeff Gilbert, vulgar display of odor. And lastly, I wasn't chosen as a juror in the O.J. Simpson trial. Man, wow. Offspring. I remember the guy's hair like that. Doesn't this guy have like a PhD in rocket science? Hey, look at that. That's awesome. When they came out, it was like a new sound. Or, you know, it was like they had a different vibe. It felt new, felt West Coast-ish, I don't know. But I dug it. Trace Elliott, like a British company. I don't really dig their bass amps. Morley, was that Crybaby? Lala. Crate. All tube. What is that? It's coming. Blue Voodoo. Wow. Who's that guy? Barkus Berry. I know they make upright bass pickups and stuff. Nuno's back. Got a nose ring. The N4 whip. Oh, Washburn. Okay. So I've been watching documentaries on a thing called YouTube, and it seems like all these guitars are made at the same factory in either like Korea, Japan, or mostly Indonesia, and they're all really high quality. Double neck guitar. What the heck is this? This is great. 90s sleaze. Second Wind. Armand Sabaleko, smoking and chillin' bassist with Paul Simon. With Susie Cream Cheese, main squeeze, blue steel. Guaranteed to send chills up and down your neck, and no one's blowing any smoke. Never used those strings. I only used basically a couple oddball sets here and there, but it was really Ernie Ball, Super Slinkies up until around 2012, and then D'Addario EXLR 160s ever since, pretty much. 90s gear, it's heavy, it's woolly, it smells like cigarettes, but it got the job done usually. What is this? Some kind of rack mount. What is this? What is that? Just complicated 90s gear. 90s had a lot of complicated gear. Computers and everything. And then Apple kind of streamlined everything. And then Samsung, and then everyone else copied. Weezer. Yeah. Skidmark's front man. What is this? Shure Wireless. I never use those. I don't like those. It gives the guitar player too much freedom to roam. Like the free range. You gotta have them on a cable to keep them corralled. You know what I mean? What is this? Rocktron Voodoo Valve. It's like a preamp or something. Let's see. EMG pickups. Those are good pickups. I had a 1978 Fender P bass, and when I got it, it had EMG pickups. It sounded great, but it weighed 50 pounds. D'Addario, blah, blah, blah. Price Fighters. What is this? Just some kind of like catalog company. Oh, yeah, here we go. DOD. Grunge. Meatbox. Buzzbox. I forgot that the Grunge pedal came out. I forget when that came out, but it was so close to, actual in that era. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it came out 20 years later. Because Kurt's been dead for like a year, and this is out. What does it say? If you're looking for some panty waist, sweet sounding wuss pedal, go fish, puss brain. I love it. 90s. 95, right in the Candlebox. I can't remember the song, but I know that name. Fernandez guitars. I think they're pretty good. White Zombie. In the 90s, you had either like these pointy guitars, like these, and the Ibanez Gems and all that, or you had like the, the flea market pawn shop things that Kurt Cobain and Sonic Youth guys used. Dimebag. Man, that guy was so good. I hear things to this day where he played, his solos. I just like, holy shit. Like, how do you come up with that? It was ridiculous. I mean, God, dog. Complicated 90s gear. Whoa, look at all these Harkey bass cabinets. Jeez Louise. These are good because they were light. Upright bass players liked them because it kind of brought a brightness to their sound. I used one, I think, in China for at the Peace Hotel with Theo Croker's band, I think. I think it was a single 12. They're not bad. They get the job done. Not my go-to, but it's better than a can of beans. Who's this? There's like guys like Candlebox everywhere. Come on. What song? I mean, so what? What's their song? I mean, Candlebox, classic rock style, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Single. Okay, there's the singles. You and Change, and the breakthrough hit Far Behind. Still doesn't ring a bell. Here's the music. You got tab, and on top you have standard notation. Warm blues lick in E, 132 beats per minute. This figure's in the key of G, then it modulates to F. Mesa, wow, look at these things. These each weigh 180 pounds. They put cement in the base of these to keep them, in case a donkey kicks it, it won't tip over. The mesas are great, and they weigh a ton. Stones. Oh, look at Kurt, man. Final season. A behind-the-scenes look at Nirvana's brilliant performance of MTV's Unplugged. Oh, sweet. That's great. Man, wow. I was actually, of all things, looking for a YouTube documentary of this, behind the scenes of MTV Nirvana's performance. I can recall, I saw that when it happened live, or whenever it was debuted on MTV. So here we go, it's right here. Martin Strings. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of, let's just see what happens. Quote, they were really nervous about doing Unplugged because they were leaving themselves wide open. Man. That guitar Kurt had, oh man, I think it's like a old Martin that was, doctored up with a pickup. I forget how he got that. And then it was auctioned off for a gazillion bucks. Cobain wanted to make Nirvana's Unplugged appearance something different, somewhat downbeat, really laid back. I mean, he did it. What is this? Monstrosity. Look at this 90s gear. Look at this. This is over the top. The Shadow. Fastest MIDI system in the galaxy. So you can change your tone of your guitar, make it sound like a tuba or a duck quacking, and look, this is ridiculous. I mean, look at this. Guitar player shows up to the gig with this. You're like, oh man. About the gear on Nirvana's Inox. What is this? Oh, Ernie Bailey, Nirvana's guitar tech, gives a first-hand account of the band's ever-escalating instrument arsenal. Cool. Exology. Ah. That's sweet. I'm going to read this later. The Rickenbacker. Wow. Oh, wow. Jagstain. Kurt's drawing. This is before you had AI, folks, for you youngsters out there. Before you had AI or even computers, basically, you just did things like this. You cut it with different cutouts of different guitars, and you drew the rest. Man, that's awesome. Look at this. So I heard a story that he ordered. Check this out. He ordered I think for his last tour, he ordered something I think it was 6 red and 6 blue of these, something like that. And then when he killed himself, I think only half the order was delivered. So the other 6, the blue ones or the red ones, I forget what color, they were put on the shelf to be sold to normal consumers in Japan. Because Kurt Cobain liked the Japanese-made Fenders because they were a little bit a hair smaller and finer. I mean, they're well made. I play a Japanese-made Fender jazz bass that I love. So I mean, they're amazing instruments, and so 6 lucky people out there unknowingly bought left-handed Kurt Cobain, meant for Kurt Cobain's Jagstain. Can you believe that? They were put on the shelf. That's why I read that somewhere. They were put on the shelf to be sold, and they were sold. Slash. And a Gibson. Look at all that junk, all that 90s junk. There's probably booze in there. My Ibanez, your Ibanez. Ibanez. Ibanez, it's a funny company. I mean, because you can get like, I had an Ibanez once. Like early 2000, like 1999, 2000, I got one. It fell apart, but it was like a Ergodyne. It wasn't that expensive. But then you guys like have guys like John Scofield and Pat Metheny playing them. But those are made at a different factory. Apparently Ibanez does not make guitars. They just like have them built. Like they're designed and they have them built somewhere. They don't actually build them. It's like a weird thing. I'm learning about it's a weird thing. It's like every guitar is built. Every like guitar that's not built in the USA is built at some factory like in Indonesia, basically. But there's different levels within that factory. There's clunky beginner student models up to like super nice custom slick pro or professional grade models. Anywho, Soviet amps, vacuum tubes. Those little tubes for amps are usually made in Russia. What is this? Seymour Duncan pickups, more complicated 90s gear. There's some good stuff though. I mean, I'm not knocking. There were some nice sounds coming out of the 90s, but a lot of that gear was just so over the top complicated. GHS strings. I didn't really like those. Slash. He was omnipresent throughout the 90s. What is this? I like these little mom and pop ads. Rustler guitars. They're out of Mason City, Iowa. Michelle. Oh yeah, she's great. She plays a Gibson. Well, there you go. What is this? Jeff Beck's Les Paul. Oh, she plays a Gibson. Okay. Les Paul Deluxe bass. Well, there you go. Kurt Cobain. Wow, look at the poster. Look at that. And I remember that day. I was in Arkansas with my mom and brother at a hotel. We were traveling back to Ohio. And I just knew it. Kurt Loder came on the MTV News and sounded sad. And I'm like, oh no. And it was true. It's like, Kurt, man, what the freak? You left us here on this rock. All right. With Candlebox and Yngwie Malmsteen. Come on, Kurt. This is a leather-covered guitar. I don't think I would like that, but that's a vibe. That's a vibe. Rage Against the Machine. What? This is the guy from Rage Against the Machine. I forget his name. He's mad as hell, and he's not gonna take it anymore. Extremes. Nuno Betancourt takes on the music industry. Oh, just the Rage Against. I got it. Title of the thing. It's cool tone. What is? Oh, such a gimmick. The guitar lights up the fretboard. I remember that. It's such a gimmick. Just practice, folks. Come on. Extreme is just an unhip thing, and I think it'll always be. Diodario, the player's choice. I agree. Let's see. Guitar Workshop, Connecticut, Music Group Registry, Florida Guitar Show, more pickups, more 90s guys with painted fingernails. Uh-oh. Look at this. See, look at this. When I was a kid and a teenager living with my parents, you knew you never called a 1-900 number. Never. Because that would cost you money, and your dad, about 3 weeks later when he got the phone bill, would be like, "What the hell?" And then you're dead, you know what I mean? So you never call a 1-900 number. Heater's back on. Wow, look at these. Are these t-shirts? Top quality concert t-shirts, $15.99. Man, oh man. You could buy a house if you had all. No, you couldn't. Never mind. It's 2025. You could buy a dinner for 3 people at a mediocre restaurant if you had all these t-shirts right now and sold them on eBay. Look at these are gorgeous t-shirts. Wow. Moving along. 1995, folks. Guitar World magazine, Nirvana Unplugged. This is about a year after Kurt Cobain killed himself. The music world's still reeling and in shock. What is this? The Last American Dream. Dean Markley, Restrain Your Soul. What is that all about? 90s drama. The EBO. These are funny. These were like some kind of like electromagnetic thing where you could hold it over a guitar or bass string and it would make it almost like a bow of a cello or a guitar or a violin. It would sustain the note. Never had one. Ooh, that's pretty. Pretty color, butterscotch, Epiphone. Apparently at one time Epiphones were just as good as Gibsons. And then they became like a sub brand. Kind of like Squier is to Fender. Alright, we got just some like guitar dudes talking about guitar riffs, riffer madness. Get your tab, get your standard notation. See, you always knew, like as a teenager, like the boring part of the magazine was like in this like kind of like newsprint, unglossed paper. Like unless it was one of these songs you wanted to know, you're like, I don't need this stuff. But if it was a song you wanted to know to learn, it was gold, a treasure map of gold. 2 gold. A treasure map, 2 gold. You had to learn it then. But, Hot for Teacher Baseline. Oh my god, this is bringing back memories. Wow, the tab. Oh, Pride and Joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Wow. Kia E. 12-8. Man, Trading Licks, Hot California. We can kind of go through this bass. I love how they have the bass line too for your bass players. All right, there's more glossy paper here. Let's take a look. Tobias Guitars and Bass. I remember that brand. Lost Art of Tube Tasting. Carbon amps, like a tweed, and the 90s had like a tweed revival, tweed revival. Tweed is material on the outside. It's like a waxed, woven material. I sell a few of these suitcases from the 1940s in my eBay store, Vintage Classic Solutions. I have one right now for sale, a suitcase made of tweed. But I would love to have a Fender Bassman from like 1952 and just play bass through it. Like they're all beat up looking and the tweed looks so cool and they sound like magic. Those old Fender Bassmans. Samick guitars. What else we got? Takamine guitars. Oh wow, I forgot all those guitars. Wow. G&L, they're no longer around. I think just bought out by Fender, is it? So if you have a G&L guitar, it's going to be from a different era and worth more money. I think it got bought out by Fender. I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't like these amps, Laney amps. They're still around, I think. British. I don't like British amps for some reason. They're made for rock. I used to play a lot of jazz. I was a jazz guy, upright and bass guitar and like funk. I don't know, I like a certain warm sound. The warmth to the amp sound. What else we got? Crates, Ampeg, Area. My first bass ever was an Area Pro, made in I think Japan. Here's a Peavey. Kind of a cool looking guitar. So these are like hot again, you know what I mean? These were cool when they came out, they became really uncool, and then they became cool again. Like now these are hot again. And they're emulated by designers, you know what I mean, guitar makers. Musician's Friend, oh my god, I forgot about that. What is this? If you really want truly great ear for music, oh, this is Perfect Pitch. I have good relative pitch, but I don't have perfect pitch. ESP. Oh wow. They make like really good guitars. I forgot about that brand. It's a nice looking Strat. Probably Swamp Ash, right? Guitar World Online. That's early. This is 1995. Trace Elliott. Another, I think they're also British. Amp company. Hammer Guitars, and that's a wrap. Look at that, Jimmy. It's supposed to be Hendrix. The Marshall advertisement. So that's been a look. My Paper Time Machine, Guitar World, March 1995. I hope you enjoyed that. There'll be more to come, so stay tuned. And as always, thanks for checking in.